What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wireless subwoofer adapters. Should you buy one? What are they all about? Are they any good? We're going to find out in this video. So I got my hands on the Rel HT Air wireless subwoofer kit. You can see it on the screen behind me. The top picture is showing you the front. The bottom picture is showing you the back of the units. The input side is going to have dual RCA inputs, so you could either use, stereo pre-outs. You could also do LFE pre-out if you have that. And the other side is going to be either the summed left and right or LFE, depending on what you put in on the other side. So reason I got my hands on this thing and got one for myself is because upstairs in my living room, I don't have a choice. I'll throw a picture on screen so you can see what I mean. There's literally no room on the front wall to place a subwoofer. The only options I have to place a subwoofer is next to my couch or behind my couch. Lucky for me, my couch butts up against the wall at the top and then has this angle to it that gives it just a lot of empty space towards the bottom. Perfect space for a tiny subwoofer. What I put there was the smallest subwoofer I own, which is the KEF KC62, and it fits like a glove. I'll throw a picture and you can see, look, it looks a little funny, but you're never looking back there. You can't see it, And it's a dual side firing subwoofer, so I don't have to worry about the drivers hitting the wall or anything like that. And my options were this. I could have run wires underneath my carpet or through my walls, or I could have just got my hands on a wireless subwoofer kit. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. It seems silly. It seemed silly to me to run wires all the way through and to the other side of the room when a $120 solution exists. And I'll tell you about the unit in a second, but let me tell you why I got the Rel unit and not a different brands. Because I did look at three. I looked at Rel's kit, which was, SVS's kit, which was about the same price as this unit. Obviously, I looked at this unit, the one I ended up with, and I looked at Emotiva's option. I didn't choose Emotiva's option because it didn't have the connectivity I needed. I needed one with dual stereo inputs, the left and right. Emotiva is a single input, so that wasn't going to work. And believe it or not, the Emotiva was actually more expensive than the Rel. The SVS option did have the dual left and right inputs that I needed. However, it uses RCA to 3.5 millimeter adapter cable to plug into the unit, and I just really didn't like that. Does it affect performance? Like, probably not, but I feel like if we could avoid having extra connections, we should. And my OCD just would not allow me to use that 3.5 millimeter adapter now. SVS does have a more expensive model that's $200 that doesn't use that, but when this $120 option exists, I figured why not just go for this one. So got my hands on this. I set it up, upstairs. Now I have the sending unit just sitting kind of like on my media console on one of the shelves all the way in the back. It doesn't have to be visible, guys. You could literally just tuck it behind your media console and it'll still transmit just fine. I put mine up there though, because you can't really see it anyways. It doesn't matter. And then the receiving unit is literally sitting behind the couch on the floor. This unit has been working absolutely flawlessly for the last 3 months that I've been running it. And it's been awesome to have great bass upstairs in that room finally, because before what I had to do is put the KC62 on top of the media console, guys, and it looked absolutely ridiculous. And I had tons of cancellation issues because I have that alcove, and it was just a terrible option. Having the sub behind the couch with the Rel HT Air wireless adapter, fantastic solution. So this is what I want to encourage. If you can use cables, by all means use cables, guys. I do think cables are the preferred solution if you can use them. But if for one reason or another you can't, like maybe you've got an apartment and you don't want to run cables underneath the carpet or through the walls, or you just don't own your home, you're renting it. Maybe it's too expensive to run those cables. Maybe you got to bring in a professional and do it through the walls. You don't want to deal with that. And you need a wireless subwoofer kit, right? Or hell, maybe you can't run it under the carpet. Maybe you got hardwood floor. Maybe you've got Italian marble. There's all kinds of reasons where a cable might not be an ideal solution. I want to encourage you, to just spend the 120 bucks, get the wireless subwoofer kit, and have your own experience, because I think you're going to be surprised. While I think there's a slight difference between the wireless option and using wires, RCA wires, I think the pros of how easy this is to fix the problem of not being able to run cables, I think you're going to love it. I think most people are going to love it. I did try it down here too in the listening room. And like I said, look, if you can run cables, you should. Most of the time down here, I run cables. My subwoofer sits right next to my amplifiers and preamps. So there's no need for me to use a wireless kit, but I did use one just to try it out in the listening room. And it was a difference. Was it a big difference or a small difference? I'll leave you with this. I think some people will listen to a wireless subwoofer kit in a critical 2-channel system and say they can't hear a difference. Likewise, I think some people will listen to a wireless subwoofer kit in a 2-channel system and say it's night and day. The cable's 100 times better, 1,000,000 times better. Everyone's a little bit sensitive in a different way on what they pick up on in their listening of music, their enjoyment of this hobby. I will say your connected equipment is going to be relevant. If you're working with mostly inexpensive gear, I think it's unlikely you'll experience a difference between wired or wireless. So if you've got something like a $500 AVR or amp in your TV rig, and that's what you're going to connect your wireless subwoofer kit to, I don't think you should lose any sleep worrying if you're losing any kind of sound quality versus running just cables. I think it's near as makes no difference at that point. If you're using like $5,000, $10,000 equipment, you might notice a difference, but again, the solution is just so simple and it works so well. I don't think you're going to care as much as you think you might care. At least that's the experience I had. I was a bit apprehensive. The OCD in me was like, this isn't high end. This isn't what audiophiles do. Wireless subwoofer kit. I really ought to just run some cables underneath my carpet. Like I'm an audiophile. Then like I really thought about it and I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm being an idiot. Like I should just try one of these kits and have my own experience. And that's what I did, guys. I had my own experience, and in my room upstairs, and I'm using expensive gear. I got the Hagel H190 up there, $3,400 amplifier, the Supermon Mini speakers, those are $2,000, and the Kev KC62 is another $1,500. So that's a pretty expensive system I've got up there for TV use. And the Rel HT Air in there, nears makes no difference. I can't tell a difference between wired and wireless up there with that system. It sounds absolutely fantastic, works flawlessly. So there you go. This is my review of the Rel HT Air wireless subwoofer. Wireless subwoofer kit. If there was anything I didn't cover in this video that you're still curious about, feel free to ask in the questions below, or the comments below, sorry. This channel also has a free Discord. I will leave a link in the description. Now, some of you might be wondering how Rel's more expensive wireless solutions perform. I don't know. I haven't heard them. And I probably won't, because I don't need one for myself. This YouTube channel generally covers products that I use personally or I'm personally curious about. In this situation, this was a product I needed for myself. This unit is mine. It's upstairs, it's plugged in. I use it all the time. It's not going anywhere. It's a permanent part of my system upstairs. So I don't have any need for any of Rel's other wireless solutions, so I don't think I'm going to check those out. If you have questions on how those compare, I would encourage you to reach out to Rel and chat with them, maybe send them an email and so on and things like that. Yeah, that wraps it up, guys. The TLDR, the takeaway, if you need one, buy one, try it, have your own experience. They're not very expensive. Until next time, later.